Encarnacion and Dyson are having words. It looked like Encarnacion was trying to,
which is ridiculous.
Well, he was waving to the crowd to stop throwing things, and then Dyson came in from the mound.
Well, Dyson was in no mood for anything after not just the home run, but Bautista admiring the blast.
Admired the blast the whole time, but also this has just been a crazy half inning. Emotions are at the all-time high. But as I was watching this, the first thing, look, everybody's calling for Bautista to come out for a curtain call. So if you're Dyson, that's what you're seeing. Bautista is trying to tell the fans, quit throwing things on the field. Encarnacion, I mean.
As we saw from other Blue Jays earlier, he's trying to get the crowd to calm down.
Quit throwing stuff. That's what he's doing. Calm down. Because the game has already been delayed. That's why you kept seeing so many replays.
And there's Dyson. He took exception. He did not realize what Encarnacion was doing as far as calming down the crowd.
Yeah, it looks to him like he's saying, yes, more. And that's not what he's doing. Look, what you did not see is there are people running on the field in the outfield. There's beer cans chucked everywhere. They've got bottles. I mean, they've got baskets of garbage in the right field corner that the grounds crew's picking up. This is the scene that's going on that Encarnacion was telling people, calm down.
Can't recall another baseball game where emotion.
Adrian Beltre had hoped to play today. Here's a drive deep down the left field line, but it is hooking foul, which could have put an end to it.
They're having a little trouble here. Keela and Donaldson screaming at each other.
And both benches empty.
I don't know if Keela said something to him, but Donaldson used some reading his lips we won't show you. But I don't know what that could be all about. Of course, the common rule among teams, everybody comes out of the bullpen, shake hands. I used to look for Willie Stargell.
A friendly man.
Yeah, say, hey, Willie, how's it going? Let's break this thing up.
Donaldson stood there, and maybe Keller said something to him. We can only see Donaldson's half of it now, and Bautista is quick to get into it.
Well, it's a curveball. Keela is lucky he got back. That was a hanger.
Jimenez kind of pushing his young pitcher away.
Fights off a 1-2 pitch to stay alive.
Whoa!
Get back up on the flared in an awful hurry. Victor Martinez and Grant Balfour join, and benches have cleared. My goodness!
I don't know who said something first, and then you could hear, unfortunately, the sound that came out.
Here come the bullpens now.
Boy, that's the last thing Oakland wants. I mean,
no question.
First of all, you see Cespedes loaf on a ground ball. Then you got a 3-run lead, and you start doing something to ignite the opposition. You know, it's the old, when you lose, say little. When you win, say less. Just get out there and hope you get 3 outs and go home.
You know, this is Grant Balfour being Grant Balfour. Yeah. He is, as you mentioned, Jim, he's amped up. He talks a lot. It's not personalized, but he talks a lot. In fact, he has the demeanor of a guy that wants to fight you. That's not his intention. That's how he gets himself out there ready to throw in the ninth. Martinez took exception to that talk, offered a few words back, and then it escalated really quickly. We apologize for some of the live audio that we may have caught during that really quick emotional outburst. foul ball.
Yeah, you can talk to yourself. Mark the Bird Fidrich did it right in here, but, you know, not toward the hitter.
You know,
there's nothing productive about that for Grant Balfour. That's only going to work.
Up the middle, gloved by Murphy. There's one, and they will not get the double play. Wow, did Chase Utley go in hard at second as the tying run scores. Tejada looked like a receiver coming over the middle, having his feet knocked out from under him by a defensive back. Check this out.
This was going to be a tough turn anyway. The ball behind second base, he was going to turn that way to make a throw. Utley got off on a great secondary lead, and he gets right there to break up the double play.
Didn't even start sliding till he was even with the bag. You know, Mattingly's on the field because he might challenge to see if Tejada touched the base or not. Did his toe get on the bag?
There's a little space right there. I'm wondering, how do they treat Utley not touching second base?
Well, that'll be up to Terry Collins right now, who can say, look, I'd like to challenge out here at PNC Park, but you do see some blue. The Cubs travel well. And Watson just hit Arrieta. Well, Arrieta's hit a couple of Pirates, and now we've got the Chicago bench emptying and words being exchanged, and here come the Pirates. And for a couple of teams that met 19 times this year, things are getting vocal. That's all it is at this point.
Well, you can see the side of the Pittsburgh Pirates. What they're saying is you've hit two of our players, and you did it, Jake Arrieta, so we're going to try to get back at you. As you can see, Garrett Cole trying to get a ball. Arrieta's been pushed out of the scrum. But you can see it from Chicago. They're saying to themselves, hey, we need this guy to move along in the postseason. And you threw a ball and hit him.
Well, the whole issue is, was it intentional or not?
Absolutely.
He hit him with a breaking ball. That one was intentional,
yes,
for sure. But were the other two intentional? It looked like he lost control of his fastball, hit him with a breaking ball. And this was a reaction for sure, a message sent back.
This is 19 times playing during the year. This is getting blanked by Madison Bumgarner last year in the wild card, and now being blanked again by Arrieta here.
You see, Sean Rodriguez was at one point being restrained by 3 Pirates, and he's still barking. Rodriguez, one of Joe Madden's old players in Tampa.
Managers and the umpires got to get this under control, get the players back on the bench.
Seventh inning fireworks here at PNC.
The only thing I would do different in this instance, if I was Jake Arrieta and the pitcher hit me in the fanny because I've hit 2 of their players, I would have run to first base. And that might have stopped everything. But once he stopped to talk to Watson, that's when the fireworks started.
I'm sorry, I was staring at the videotape trying to figure out what the words were being said. Right there in the beginning.
Part of the plate with a history between these two clubs. Now Adrian Gonzalez and Yadier Molina at home plate are getting into it. Adrian Gonzalez and Molina have to be separated by the home plate umpire.
Somebody better grab Puig and keep him out of there because he's coming at it too.
History with these two last year during the NLCS, earlier this year. And Matheny's trying to calm down Yadier Molina.
Adrian Gonzalez effectively said enough. It wasn't just last year in the playoffs, it's also this season. With Puig and Ramirez getting hit.
Adam Wainwright's like, let's go, guys. Come on. It's time to play ball. He just had a chance to talk to Yasiel Puig. And maybe bring that back so you can see it. It's just basically Wainwright's like, look at Wainwright telling everybody, it's okay, guys, calm down. Wasn't intentional. Let's play ball.
I mean, it would be hard to believe. Here's how it started when we went to the replay of the hit by pitch. Adrian Gonzalez and Yadier Molina got into it. If there's no history, and there is, if there's no history between these two, that's a hit by pitch in a 1-0 game in the third inning of game 1 of a playoff game. It would make no sense to hit somebody right there. But because there is history, that wound is still fresh, and these guys went right at each other.
Exactly right, and it's more than the pitch to Ramirez in the postseason.
Now right here, this is right here. Look at Wainwright and Puig. I think this calmed everything down, and it got it going because Wainwright's like, look, I'm not trying to hit you. It's all good. And then Puig patted him on the butt, and they went on down to first.
Do you think Mike Matheny wants to keep his catcher in the game?
Tell you what, this just changed the series. I love it. It's taking it to a whole nother height.
This is what the Cardinals do. We talked about it at the top. Pound fastballs into the power hitters of the Dodgers. And if they should happen to hit somebody, well, that's the consequence of the way they operate. Adrian Gonzalez said, we've had enough.
Well, Joe, you nailed it right off the top. This opened up a wound that was there. And that's what changes the whole series. It's okay. We watched the brush back on Hanley. If you don't hit anybody, that's one thing. Once you hit them, it opens up.
I think Don Mattingly just asked if the benches were warned. He seemed satisfied, so I would say no. We'll get the official word. Last year, first at bat, NLCS, first inning. And Joe Kelly hits Hanley Ramirez and fractures his rib. Ramirez was not the same the rest of the series. And then Hanley Ramirez was hit twice in one game. Here comes Escobar. Syndergaard set to go. Oh! Mets fans love it. I don't think Moustakas did.
Now that's announcing yourself. Game on.
12 in his career against Clemens with 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. The barrel of the bat comes back at Roger Clemens, and he fires the bat back toward Piazza, who is going down the first baseline. That is all Roger Clemens there. A moment started by, created by Clemens. And thankfully not much more on the field than these two benches emptying, and the players now in a mode of standing around and trying to sort out what just happened. That was surprising.
Joe, there were a lot of people who defended Roger Clemens when he hit Mike Piazza in the head. I was one of them. In my view right now, Roger Clemens is dead wrong. You can't take up the better part of the bat, the fat part of the bat, and fire it into foul territory near Piazza. Obviously, Piazza didn't mean to do that. My gosh, that's a blatant act. Foolish, foolish. Man, that is, I'll tell you, that is a blatant act right there. Piazza has every right to be upset. Wow.
So Roger Clemens, in essence, throws a jagged, a pointed, sharp piece of wood that ends up, what, 2 feet away from Mike Piazza?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Piazza was looking toward Clemens when the bat was thrown over into foul territory. Had Mike had his head down, running down the first baseline, he may have run right into that barrel of the bat.
The 3-2. goes back and has room. And somebody threw something out of the stands.
There's a bottle of water someone threw at the same time he was trying to make that catch. Inexcusable.
The side is retired. The conversation is about to commence. We'll be back. Never let him in the ballpark again.
The bottom of the ninth inning, we've had another ugly incident as a fan out above that Yankee bullpen has jumped down in there. Police responded immediately, as did the bullpen staff for the Yankees. And it looks like what could have been an awful situation has been handled for the most part. But you've never seen Jorge Posada run faster than he just ran out to that bullpen. I mean, he was sprinting out there to see what was going on, and those in the bullpen along with help. And there's Karim Garcia holding his hand. There's some of the incident. Jeff Nelson, you can see on the right, was involved. The police got out there before it got worse, and then they subdued that fan, pressed him against the far left wall of the bullpen, and order was restored for the most part. But the Yankees, the players on the field, went flying into that bullpen to try and help. And it looks like Garcia comes out of there holding his hand as if he's injured.
Well, a game like tonight gives some idiot the opportunity to go into the bullpen. Maddening.
So someone was out there in that bullpen, and it looked like Jeff Nelson, who was the one pushed farthest from that person who got in there, was right in the middle of it. Why did something like that two, and they have second and third, nobody out, and this is over the head. Actually, Martinez got his shot in, and the Yankees feel like they're not going to be able to get theirs in.
Oh, now look at that. Whoever he's pointing to, he's not saying to use your head. Trying to get himself under control.
Now Ramirez.
That ball's not even close.
You talk about looking for a reason.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. Don Zimmer and Pedro Martinez. Oh.
That's awful.
Don Zimmer, a 72-year-old man, went into Pedro Martinez's face, and Pedro Martinez threw him down. And now, with word of what's happened with Zimmer, the players almost separate from each other and all walk over and check on his well-being. And it was Pedro Martinez who threw him down. And it was Pedro Martinez that Zimmer tried to find when Ramirez started to stomp after Roger Clemens. Zimmer, a former manager of the Red Sox, has been through a knee replacement. And it is great to see him up and at least able to walk back toward the Yankee dugout.
Actually, both knees have been replaced.
Oh. And it's Clemens with his arm around him.
The point is, the pitch to Manny Ramirez wasn't even close the way I saw it. pitch to Garcia was behind him. We're trying to be as fair as we can up here, but it's very difficult to be fair in this situation. Martinez has incited so much so far. That's terrible. Awful. That is absolutely awful. You have got to be kidding me. You mean to tell me you don't know that Don Zimmer is coming? I mean, Don Zimmer?
Well, he came and swung at Pedro Martinez, it looked like. I'd like to see that replay again, just to see the beginning of it. I mean, I can't put all the blame on Pedro Martinez on that when Don Zimmer, and I feel for Don Zimmer, but he came out and had the left hand up.
I mean, there's just so many things going on right now. You got Roger on the mound. He knows it's a postseason. He knows how important this game is and that he stays in the game. With the warning.
Here was the inside pitch in question. But you can't tell me that that pitch is anywhere close to the one Garcia.
And Manny Ramirez is still yelling at Clemens.
Martinez threw the ball behind Garcia. And if the umpires are going to be true to their word, Clemens is gone. If that pitch was as close to Ramirez,
but it's not close. It's not close.
Well,
yeah, I think it's in the umpire's discretion, and I would imagine they would say that wasn't close enough to warrant anything.
I didn't think it was.
And as a hitter, if I'm hitting what happened the previous inning, I'm expecting it. And if I get hit by a pitch, I'm going to first base. I don't think that pitch was at his head. I think it was on the plate high.
It was up and in.
It was up and in, but it wasn't up and in.
Let's go down to Chris Myers for a quick word. Chris?
Joe, we're down on the field here. Umpiring supervisor Steve Palermo is discussing with the major league officials who should be gone from this game and who will remain. And they are assessing that as we speak. Moments before, the warning was given to both benches. And when